Steve, let me ask you about the iPhone and the Zune, if I may. The Zune was getting some traction, then Steve Jobs goes to Macworld and he pulls out this iPhone. What was your first reaction when you saw that?
$500 fully subsidized with a plan? I said, that is the most expensive phone in the world, and it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard, which makes it not a very good email machine.
What's up, everybody? Brad here. Clearly that was Steve Ballmer laughing at the iPhone, but Apple's having the last laugh here, especially Jobs, although, he's no longer with us. And apparently neither is Windows Mobile. Microsoft is officially writing in cement that Windows 10 Mobile is dead and that future updates are not going to be happening. This should not come as a surprise to anybody. Microsoft's lost over $10 billion on basically chasing this smartphone dream. Granted, they had Windows Mobile way back when and did very well. Then the iPhone came out and basically killed a whole bunch of companies, including, Windows Mobile now. And now we've got BlackBerry and we've got HTC is effectively dead and Nokia as well and many others. But the market's collapsed. It's basically Apple, Samsung, LG, OnePlus, and there's a couple others as well. Huawei is in there. You can't ignore them. And I'm sure there's some others who people will remind me of in the comments below. But realistically, Microsoft is now out of the smartphone market. And what they are writing on their support forums, it could not be any more clear. It says, as of December 10th, 2019, Windows 10 mobile users are no longer eligible to receive new security updates, non-security hotfixes, free assisted support options, or online technical support content updates from Microsoft for free. If you really want to pay Microsoft for updates, I'm sure that you can get them. But yeah, and so that's going to be roughly it for Windows Mobile. That is going to be the end, the swan song, if you will, and Microsoft is exiting. Actually, what they really do recommend in this document is to say, hey, go get an iOS or Android device. Which one you want to grab is kind of, up to you. If you like better apps, iOS is probably the way to go. If you like tinkering and customizations and having full control of your device, Android's the way to go. You can't go wrong with either at this point. Both are going to be supported pretty well. But going forward, don't expect to be running Windows 10 Mobile. Now, granted, I am going to miss the platform. I loved the live tiles. Microsoft did a wonderful job creating a different UI, but it just never caught on. They made a lot of mistakes, including rebooting the platform effectively 3 times, not really catering too well to developers. They tried and failed. And then they kept changing and moving the goalpost and everything else. And granted, there was just a lot of negative Microsoft sentiment around 2010-ish when the platform launched. Remember, it was originally called Windows Phone 7 series. It just kind of rolls right off the tongue. And then there was 8 and now there's 10 and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Microsoft tried. They definitely had some missteps. And one thing I do want to point out is that Ballmer gets a lot of crap for laughing. But if you actually listen to the second part of that interview.
Now, it may sell very well or not. We have our strategy. We've got great Windows Mobile devices in the market today. You can get a Motorola Q phone now for $99. It's a very capable machine. It'll do music. It'll do internet. It'll do email. It'll do instant messaging. So I kind of look at that and I say, well, I like our strategy. I like it a lot.
Or it's almost like the words right after it. He actually says the iPhone might sell really well. So he wasn't completely dense. Most people just think of him laughing. And so I do want to call attention to that. But if you are still running Windows 10 Mobile, after basically December 2019, you still can. It's not like your phone is going to shut off, and I get it. People love them, and they don't want to leave the platform. And if you're okay with what it is exactly right now, then you're probably fine. Granted, you might be exposed a little bit more to security issues. The bug fixes are not going to be squashed. You're not going to get new apps. You're not going to get any kind of support, but your phone will still work if that's what you want to keep running. I mean, hell, I know people are still running Windows XP, so why not run an outdated mobile OS? But realistically, you should probably migrate to a device that's at least updated and more secure because that's the last thing. Although I can't really see too many people targeting the Windows 10 mobile platform. That all being said, it's not a great thing for the consumer when a major player exits the market like this because that's, again, less options for the end user. But Microsoft has thrown in the towel. They've lost over $10 billion. They got really screwed when they bought Nokia. If you don't understand why or how that happened, I wrote a book that details some of that experience, what happened behind the scenes during that acquisition process that I'll link to below, that dives into how Microsoft bought this thing and then they have no products to launch, which was a major issue. and they just couldn't get out of their own way. The problems just kind of mounted up and became this insurmountable hill in front of them that they could never get over. And at the end of the day, Microsoft has been not forecasting, but basically saying Windows 10 Mobile is dead. And now we have it officially in writing and support documents that at the end of 2019, yeah, that's it going forward. And so kumbaya to the platform. We wish you well. And everybody who supported it obviously is going to miss it. But I don't think there's really any big surprises here. Just know that Microsoft is no longer going to compete as an OS partner in this arena. Now, they are going to continue to support iOS and Android. They have a launcher on Android, a Microsoft launcher that's actually pretty dang good. And they're going to continue to make their apps on these platforms first party experiences exceptional, right? They're investing a lot to be a mobile productivity company, and so they're not giving up on the mobile segment, just the mobile OS segment, and they're not going to be building hardware. So I know that's going to be shooting down some dreams that people had, that Andromeda was going to revive the mobile intentions and bring Windows 10 Mobile back from the dead. I don't see that happening in any capacity. I'm not saying we won't ever see an Andromeda device, definitely not saying that, but I'm saying we're not going to see it running Windows 10 Mobile. This also effectively kills Live Tiles, unfortunately. We haven't seen any updates of them on the desktop. They made the most sense on a mobile device. They don't really make a whole lot of sense on the desktop, so I don't see Microsoft aggressively building out that functionality anymore. And, this has big ramifications for Microsoft, but it's already kind of played itself out, and Microsoft as a company has already adapted to not having the OS. And so while you might think Microsoft is going to wither away, that is absolutely not true. They're making more money than ever with their cloud, and they still have Xbox, they still have Surface. We're going to see HoloLens 2 next month. Cortana, not so good. But yeah, so Windows 10 Mobile, rest in peace. We'll catch you next time.